The Vietnam Veterans Memorial is a national memorial in Washington, D.C. It honors U.S. service members of the U.S. Armed Forces who fought in the Vietnam War. Each year, the memorial receives about 3 million visitors. D.C. is a pedestrian-friendly city. It is ranked as one of the nation's most fit cities. Joggers and runners and bikers are often spotted on the streets and sidewalks. After paying my respects at the memorial, I headed over to DC's well-known Ethiopian restaurant. It is reported that the Washington region has the world's largest Ethiopian community outside of Africa. Just as San Francisco or New York has Chinatown or Orange County to Little Saigon, Washington, D.C. has Little Ethiopia. At Meskerem, I had the pleasure of eating dinner with 2 very dear friends of mine. They are young and talented Vietnamese-American attorneys. Phong Le works for the Department of Justice, and John Chung is a federal prosecutor.
So how do you say cheers in Ethiopian?
Let's speak Uzbek.
It's Ahmed.
So apparently, the language of Ethiopia is not called Ethiopian. It is called Amharic. Despite the multiple inquiries, I didn't quite understand. I must have sounded like an idiot to the group.
Oh, okay. So how do you say cheers?
That's the language.
The cheers is Latinache.
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 Ah, cool. Okay, let's do that. Latinache.
Toast?
Latinache.
Latinache.
I'm a prosecutor here in the District of Columbia.
So what does that mean?
Which means that you guys watch Law and Order?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So, you know, in the beginning segment, it said something like the police catch the people and the prosecutor put the people away. So that's me, the second. So it's pretty cool when you go to court. We say, you know, my name is John Truong. I represent the United States. Right? So it has the Cordada. You represent the government.
Okay. All right, dig in, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was first hired by my office, I think I was or am still the only Vietnamese American in the office. When I joined the U.S. Attorney's Office, I first joined the Civil Division, and I was the only one that was hired. And then now I think I'm the only one in the criminal side also. I know in Los Angeles we have several Vietnamese American prosecutors, but in my office I think it's really rare. I don't know why, but I think it's changing. I think because more Vietnamese students, younger than myself and Phong, you know, are beginning to enter the legal professions, and they see that this is an avenue for their career. So I think you will see that more. But I don't know why, for whatever reason.
There's still that social stigma about you know, how our parents escaped, the first generation, they escaped from a political war. So what made you guys want to enter the legal field, knowing that? Because it still is a social stigma to this day. In terms of being a Vietnamese American attorney, it's not as practical, or it's not the ideal career to get into. There
was a lot of pushback by my parents. They said, you weren't born here in this country, and the legal profession is a profession of language skills. How are you going to compete with the Americans, students? How are you going to compete with other white lawyers out there? How, you know, your writing skills, your verbal skills, whatever.
Right.
And for whatever reason, I took that as a challenge. Although, really, I think my parents didn't understand what I wanted to do with my life or my career until I actually became somebody. So they still don't know what I do for a living. But now that they sort of recognize, this is what I want to do, and I'm successful at it. But really, there was a lot of pushback. In fact, they wanted me to be an engineer. In fact, when I entered USC, I actually signed up to be an engineer major, and then after the first semester, I hate math. You know? I'm like, you know, the NT.
Like totally opposite.
Yeah, NT. You know, the opposite of stereotypical Asian thing. I hate math. I'm bad at it. You know? But you're right. There's that struggle with my parents for a long time.
What about you, Phong? What was your experience?
It's the same thing. Up until like the third year of law school, my dad was still talking about medical school. It's too late. I got 2 years in. But he was supportive in the sense that I was doing something rather than what I used to do, which was all out of nothing. I grew up in a relatively poor neighborhood, so there was a lot of, oh, he's not going to amount to nothing. And I operate I operate much better with a little chip on my shoulder. So if I feel like, I think John's like this too, if somebody tells me I can't do something, I'll go out of my way to do it. Which is kind of how I ended up in law school. And, I met a really great professor while I was in college that recommended that I look into it. Yeah, kind of wanted to do civil rights work and stuff like that.
So are you both happy with your decision? Any regrets?
I hope this is not the end, but I'm happy where I am.
Putting the bad guys away.
Put it that way.
Low crime in D.C.
This is John.
I can do the whole squatting.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, can you tell us oh my god, I want the egg. I call dibs on the egg.
No, you're supposed to tear it up and share.
No, I don't believe it.
You may wonder why I chose to eat Ethiopian food for the show. As a young Vietnamese American who embraces the ideology under which this country was founded, that all men are created equal with unalienable rights in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, what represented as a moral standard for Americans is now a multicultural paragon of freedom for the fortunate ones who are here. Whether they are first-generation immigrants or whether they are third-generation, we are all inherently the same. Over the course of history, people have evolved, and so has the food.
So my first time when I went to the Ethiopian place in Houston, I thought this was to wipe your hands. They brought the bread out.
To do what?
To wipe your hands.
Oh, yeah,
It's the one thing. That's a dirty towel. It's not white.
The injera is certainly not a wet towel. Don't listen to me. Whatever you do, don't listen to me. I'm just a girl that likes to eat and travel. It was refreshing to hear the perspective of the first Vietnamese American federal prosecutor. After speaking to John and Phong, I know that they have had to work extremely hard, just as our parents did, in order to make the lives of our future generations better. It is not unusual that after an Ethiopian meal to have the combination of different spices such as chili peppers, ginger, and garlic to be left lingering on the fingers. After the meal, I thought, wouldn't it be great to put a Vietnamese American attorney on television like Reno 911? But reality hits home as I said adieu to this kind and generous manager